Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a closer look at one of the most heartwarming moments from the royal family's traditional Easter Sunday church service at St. George's Chapel. What began as a formal royal gathering quickly turned into a touching family moment when King Charles III shared a sweet exchange with his grandson, Prince Louis of Wales. The moment not only delighted royal fans, but also highlighted the king's softer side and his willingness to gently bend long-standing royal traditions for the younger generation. The annual Easter Matin service at Windsor Castle brought together several members of the royal family, marking the first official public appearance of 2026 for the children of Prince William, Prince of Wales, and Catherine, Princess of Wales. Accompanied by their parents, the young royals stepped out looking polished and confident, signaling a return to public duties after a quieter period for the family. The most memorable moment of the day unfolded just before the service began. As members of the royal family gathered outside St. George's Chapel waiting for the arrival of the King and Queen Camilla, cameras captured an adorable interaction between the monarch and his grandchildren. As King Charles approached, he slowed slightly while passing the Wales children. In a spontaneous and affectionate gesture, he reached out toward Louis and Charlotte, gently touching one of their cheeks before continuing inside the chapel. The gesture was brief, but it instantly revealed the warm relationship between the king and his young grandchildren. According to lip-reading specialist Jeremy Freeman, the moment included an equally charming exchange. As his grandfather passed by, Prince Louis quietly greeted him with a simple but heartfelt "Happy Easter." The greeting prompted a warm response from the king. There was no dramatic pause, no long conversation, just a small, natural moment between a grandfather and grandson. Yet that simplicity is exactly what made it so special. Prince Louis has become known for spontaneous reactions during public appearances, sometimes playful, sometimes unpredictable, but this moment felt different. It was quieter, sincere, and completely genuine. Later, as the Wales family left the chapel, they joined the rest of the royals in waving to the crowds gathered outside. Many well-wishers called out "Happy Easter," echoing the very words that had sparked the day's sweetest royal interaction. Royal observers described the exchange as an unusual but delightful gesture from King Charles. Traditionally, royal protocol could make such affectionate public displays rare, but the king's gentle pat and warm reaction showed a softer, more personal side. As one royal commentator noted, it was a very unusual reward ritual from Charles, showing his softer side as a doting granddad. Moments like this also reflect a broader shift within the monarchy under King Charles. The monarch has shown increasing openness to modernizing certain royal traditions, especially when it comes to the younger generation. One rule that may soon change involves royal dinner arrangements. During the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, children attending royal events typically ate separately from the adults. They would dine in a nursery dining room until they were considered old enough to demonstrate proper table manners. The late queen reportedly insisted that children could not join the main table until they were able to handle a knife and fork properly and maintain formal etiquette throughout the meal. However, reports suggest King Charles may be relaxing that rule slightly. If the change has indeed been implemented, it could allow Prince Louis to join his parents and siblings at the same table during certain family meals, rather than dining separately. While the tradition of adult formal dinners may still remain, the possibility of younger royals occasionally joining the table signals a more relaxed and family-centered approach under Charles's reign. This would not be the first time King Charles has adjusted royal protocol for his grandchildren. In fact, he made a similar decision for Prince George ahead of the historic coronation in May 2023. George, who was 9 at the time, had been selected to serve as one of the pages of honor for the coronation ceremony. Traditionally, the role is reserved for boys between the ages of 12 and 15, making George unusually young for the position. There was also another issue: traditional attire. Pages of honor historically wear white knee breeches and tights, a style that dates back centuries. George reportedly worried that wearing tights might make him the subject of teasing at school. King Charles ultimately agreed to adjust the dress code. Instead of the traditional breeches, George and the other pages wore trousers. The decision allowed the young royal to feel more comfortable while still honoring the ceremonial role. Royal experts described the change as a small but meaningful sign of Charles's willingness to adapt tradition to modern realities, especially when it involves supporting the younger members of the family. Beyond these touching family moments, the Easter service itself was a major royal gathering. King Charles appeared in high spirits as he waved warmly to well-wishers gathered outside the chapel. More than 100 royal fans lined the path leading to the church, some holding flags and banners. One young enthusiast even dressed in the uniform of a royal guard. The atmosphere was lively and celebratory, with cheers of "God Save the King" ringing out as the monarch and Queen Camilla arrived. After the hour-long service, members of the royal family returned briefly inside the chapel to enjoy tea with the dean before emerging once again to walk back toward Windsor Castle, despite the blustery spring weather. During the walk, Charles and Camilla paused to greet several fans. One Windsor resident, Kit Bannon, presented the Queen with a small bouquet, while another young admirer, 7-year-old Frank Gates, had traveled all the way from Cumbria dressed in the uniform of the Coldstream Guards. Other royals soon followed, including Princess Anne, Sir Timothy Lawrence, Peter Phillips and his daughters, Savannah Phillips and Isla Phillips, as well as his fiancée, Harriet Spurling, and her daughter, Georgina. The event marked one of the largest gatherings of senior royals in recent months and served as a visible show of unity within the family. However, one notable figure was missing: Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. Her absence quickly sparked questions online, as many royal fans wondered why such a familiar face was not present at the traditional service. Still, the day ultimately belonged to the younger generation, especially Prince Louis, and thanks to one affectionate gesture from his grandfather, royal watchers were reminded that behind the formal traditions and centuries-old rules, the monarchy is still, at its heart, a family.